قول لي يا ابني، الله يرحم والديك، ما شفتش الاله امون معدي وانت قاعد كده؟
امون؟ امون ايه بس يا حاج؟ وانت جاي منين كده؟ وايه الكرسي ده؟ الله، ده حلو قوي.
ده حمل يا ابني، حملي اللي شايله على كتفي سنين، وبدور على الاله امون عشان ينزل يقعد بقى. خلاص انا تعبت.
وانت بتدور على امون بتاعك ده من امتى يا حاج؟
من اول النيل ده ما ابتدى يجري في الارض دي. الاله امون قال لي يا شيال ارفع الحمل، ومن ساعتها وانا عمال الف وادور على الاله امون عشان انزل الكرسي.
يا نهار اسود، يعني انت شايل الكرسي ده على دماغك من ساعتها؟ ليه يا عم؟ نزله، اكسره، احرقه. انت ما زهقتش؟ ما تعبتش؟ الكراسي دي اتعملت عشان نقعد عليها، مش عشان نشيلها فوق دماغنا. بقول لك يا حاج، ما تنزل الكرسي اقعد عليه شويه والنبي، ده حلو قوي.
لا، ده كرسي الاله امون.
يا عم الاله بتاعك ده مات وشبع موت. نزل الكرسي قعد عليه حتى لو 5 دقايق، اجرب بس بيحسوا بايه.
انا ما اقدرش الا بامر الاله امون انزل الكرسي ده.
ما قلنا لك مات يا عم.
خلاص يبقى ابنه او خليفته، المهم حد يكون معاه ختم الالوهيه، دول بس اللي يقدروا يامروني انزل الكرسي.
طب انا بامرك اهو يا شيال، نزل الكرسي وقعدنا عليه.
تحت امرك، بس انت تقرب للاله امون؟
لا ما اعرفوش.
ولا معاك ختم الالوهيه؟
لا برضه ما اعرفوش.
خلاص يبقى سيبني اروح ادور عليه بنفسي قبل النهار ما يعدي.
اهو ختم الالوهيه اهو.
فين؟
محفور على ظهر الكرسي وباسمك كمان. يعني انت شايل الكرسي ده من سنين وما تعرفش انه بتاعك؟
على فكره انا ما بعرفش اقرا.
ما انا عرضتهولك اهو. بقول لك ايه، نزل الكرسي وقعدني. طب اقول لك اقعد انت وما تفضلش شايله على ظهرك كده، كفايه.
الكلام ده انا ما فهموش، لازم امر من الاله امون او حامل اختام الالوهيه، غير كده انا ما اعرفش.
قعدونا بقى، حرام عليكم بقى، الواحد حمض خلاص. شويه انتوا شويه احنا يا جدعان. خلاص الفراعين خلصوا خلاص، هيجي اليوم وهقعد. انت سامعني؟ هيجي اليوم وهقعد.
تلقى السيد الرئيس برقيات التهنئة من ملوك ورؤساء وقادة الدول العربية والأفريقية والإسلامية، يهنئون سيادته بفترة رئاسة جديدة بعد منافسة شهد العالم بأنها قمة في النزاهة والشفافية.
Hosni Mubarak was thrust onto the international stage in October of 1981. He was mostly unhurt despite the fact that he sat next to then-President Anwar Sadat as he was gunned down in a hail of bullets. 7 days later, Mubarak was Egypt's president, a position he would hold for nearly 30 years. Under his rule, Egyptians faced economic stagnation, corruption, and a battle against Islamic militancy at the expense of personal freedoms. As the years went by, Mubarak became increasingly aloof. He appeared to be grooming his son to replace him. That fueled more resentment of the political regime.
البطال والمحتال والسياسي يطالب مزيد من الحريات.
أعلنت مصادر كبيرة بأن الرئيس التونسي زين العابدين بن علي قد غادر البلاد.
بتصرفي على نفسك منين؟
بصرف على نفسي منين؟ باخد 10 جنيه من الجامع 10 جنيه من الجامع. في حتة ليه في مصر 40 متر 40 متر باخد منها 50 جنيه
بس
بتاكلي
ازاي وبتشرب ازاي وبتعالج ازاي؟
انا الحمد لله. اللهم لك الف حمد، اللهم لك الف حمد. ده حلوين قوي.
بتملي قد ايه كل يوم؟
بنملى حوالي 20 دور على دماغنا كده.
20 دور رايحه جايه؟
سين يه ته مربوطه.
في سنة كام؟
6.
او اللي هم الجماعات الفيسبوك.
This is Revolution 2.0. No one was a hero. No one was a hero because everyone was a hero. Everyone have done something. We all use Wikipedia. If you think of the concept of Wikipedia where everyone is collaborating content, and at the end of the day, you've built the largest encyclopedia in the world. From just an idea that sounded crazy, you have the largest encyclopedia in the world. And in the Egyptian Revolution, the Revolution 2.0, everyone have contributed something. Small or big, they contributed something to bring us one of the most inspiring stories in the history of mankind when it comes to revolutions. It was actually really inspiring to see all these Egyptians completely changing. If you look at the scene, Egypt for 30 years have been in a downhill, going into a downhill. Everything was going bad, everything was going wrong. We only ranked high when it comes to poverty, corruption, lack of freedom of speech, lack of political activism. Those were the achievements of our great regime. Yet, nothing was happening. And it's not because people were happy or people were, not frustrated. In fact, people were extremely frustrated. But the reason why everyone was silent is what I call the psychological barrier of fear. everyone was scared. If you know, not everyone, there were actually few brave Egyptians that I have to thank for being so brave, going into protests, as a couple of hundred getting beaten up and, you know, arrested. But in fact, the majority were scared. Everyone did not want really to get in trouble. A dictator cannot live without the force. They want to make people live in fear. And that psychological barrier of fear have worked for so many years. And here comes the internet, technology, BlackBerry, SMS. It's helping all of us to connect. Platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook were helping us a lot because it basically gave us the impression that, wow, I'm not alone. There are a lot of people who are frustrated. There are lots of people who are frustrated. There are lots of people who actually share the same dream. There are lots of people who care about their freedom. They probably have the best life in the world. They are living in happiness. They are living in their villas. They're happy. They don't have problems. But they are still feeling the pain of the Egyptian. A lot of us we're not really happy when we see a video of an Egyptian man who's eating the trash while others are stealing billions of Egyptian pounds from the wealth of the country. The internet have played a great role helping these people to speak up their minds, to collaborate together, to start thinking together. It was an educational campaigns. Khalid Saeed was killed in June 2010. The photo, I still remember the photo. I still remember every single detail of that photo. The photo was horrible. He was tortured, brutally tortured to death. But then what was the answer of the regime? You know, he choked on a pile of hash. That was their answer. He's a criminal. He's someone who, you know, escaped from all these bad things. But people did not relate to this. People did not believe this. Because of the internet, the truth prevailed, and everyone knew the truth. And everyone started to think that this guy can be my brother. He was a middle-class guy. His photo was remembered by all of us. A page was created. An anonymous administrator was basically inviting people to join the page, and there was no plan. We didn't know what are we going to do. I don't know. In few days, tons of thousands of people were there. Angry Egyptians who were asking the Ministry of Interior Affairs, enough, get us, you know, get those who killed this guy to just bring them to justice. But of course they don't listen. It was an amazing story how everyone started feeling the ownership. Everyone was an owner in this page. People started contributing ideas. In fact, one of the most ridiculous ideas was, hey, let's have a silent stand. Let's get people to go in the street, face the sea, their back to the street, dressed in black, standing up silently for 1 hour, doing nothing, and then just leaving, going back home. For some people, that was like, wow, silent stand, and next time it's going to be vibration. You know, people were making fun of the idea. But when actually people went to the street, the first time it was thousands of people in Alexandria. It felt like, it was amazing. It was great because it connected people from the virtual world, bringing them to the real world, sharing the same dream, the same frustration, the same anger, the same desire for freedom. And they were doing this thing. But did the regime learn anything? Not really. They were actually attacking them. They were actually abusing them, despite the fact on how peaceful these guys were. They were not even protesting. And things have developed until the Tunisian revolution. This whole page was again managed by the people. In fact, the anonymous admin job was to collect the ideas, help people to vote on them, and actually